And a good morning to our friends that are already locked in this morning on this first ever aired out episode in 2025. It is a beautiful morning. The snow is falling outside of our studios. It is just so picturesque. Looking out there at Nelson's Ace Hardware, the Christmas lights on still, and just this beautiful falling snow. It is just a beautiful, beautiful morning. Have I said beautiful enough? A wind advisory until midnight Friday for Orange, Windsor counties, gusts up to 55 miles per hour as this cold front pushes into Vermont. Going to make for poor visibility while driving that much more difficult. So a couple of inches likely in central Vermont, 4 to 8 inches for a lot of the Northeast Kingdom, over 2 feet of snow, they're saying possible. WCAX is saying anyways, for the Jay Peak area by Friday morning. So snow possible today, I would say likely, 30 degrees. Tonight, snowy and windy and 21, and Friday, looks like sun and clouds both, 27 degrees for the daytime high. Not too bad. But I'll tell you right now, G, I make no promises about inches for this snowfall. No promises at all.
Like you did to Sherilyn the other day?
Yeah, I did.
And I know.
Have before. She always says that to me.
I know.
Has been for years
Well, you
now.
posted it all over the place, and then I looked out this morning, and I was like, wow, another big snowstorm from JD.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Were you?
I was impressed, yeah. It took me, to get out to my car and clean it off and warm it up. Took me about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
That's how bad the storm is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Horrible. Horrible. Good morning.
I want to say, before we even get going this morning, happy birthday to Danielle Kelly, Brandon Gray, Penny Copeland, Scott Campbell, Rob Gummer, Fabi Green on the list today, Crystal Gallagher. Happy birthday to you. James King, happy birthday to you as well. Travis Henry, Sarah Wilson, and yesterday, Candy Harris on the birthday list today, a lady that I've been friends with for a very, very long time. And I know what she's thinking right now. Did you just call me a lady? And my good buddy Frankie Allen as well. So happy birthday to everyone. I have to begin this morning by, I want to profusely apologize to you for what happened on New Year's Eve.
Yes. What happened?
Well, I thought we were over a friend's house, and they don't have cable TV, as many don't. So we were trying to stream what was going on at Times Square on YouTube and whatnot.
Right.
We found what we thought was the Times Square live coverage.
Re-emphasize. We found what we thought.
What we thought.
Right. That was your first mistake. You were thinking.
Because in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, it said ABC.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, oh, well, this has got to be it.
Right.
This has to be it. It was ABC.
A form of, yes.
A form of. It was the ABC Spanish channel.
Which is fine.
Which is fine.
I would have understood everything.
Do you speak Spanish?
I speak Italian, but Spanish is like a second language to Italian.
Okay.
So, yes.
I didn't understand any of it. I don't speak Spanish. I should have learned it. I should have taken it more seriously when I was in school. And all of the performers were Latin performers, and and I love that music. I mean,
I listen to the Pitbull station, so I listen to a lot of Latin and Spanish music.
Yeah, I mean, I love it.
Mm-hmm. However,
I was getting increasingly, over the course of like an hour and a half, increasingly frustrated because it seemed like every single performer was Spanish, and they were, the performers, the speakers, the commentators, everyone was like speaking.
You sure you weren't watching ABC from the Puerto Rican channel? Because ABC, our channel, along with Puerto Rico, that celebrates an hour before, because they're an hour ahead. We kept flipping over to the person that was emceeing, Ryan Seacrest, kept flipping over to Puerto Rico, and then they did the countdown in Puerto Rico and celebrated, and then they came back here. So you might have been just fixated on just the Puerto Rican side of that. Yeah. Then I text you.
Right. Saying, you seeing
Are
this?
you seeing this? Lenny Kravitz was rocking it out, like kicking it. First of all, the guy looks amazing for his age.
Always has.
Shame on him. And he was just kicking ass. And I didn't know if you had liked Lenny Kravitz. So I text you and said, are you seeing this? Lenny Kravitz. And you were like, what the fuck? Where?
I love Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated.
Yeah. And then you were like, where? And I says, on ABC. And you're like, I'm watching that. And I was like, well, you ain't watching the same one I'm watching. And then you said, take a video of it, like I'm videotaping my TV show. So you owe me a big apology.
Sherilyn finally says to me after like an hour, and she's doing her own thing, but, she's finally like, hey, where's Ryan Seacrest? What?
Did you have that really pretty girl? Was that your host? A tall, slim, in a beautiful dress host? Because that was the girl from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were watching the Puerto Rican version of the ABC.
So here I am texting you, sending you videos of what I'm seeing, and I am coming unglued.
You were hysterical.
Saying,
what the F?
What's going on here, man?
Yeah.
It's like...
And I said, what's your problem? I said, it's Lenny Kravitz.
Nobody in America speaks English anymore? What's going on?
Well, Spanish is a second/first language here now.
Sure it is.
So, I mean, a lot of the commercials now are done in Spanish, too. So you'll see a regular commercial, and then it'll go to a Spanish commercial.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, my blood pressure was pretty high.
Were you drinking?
I was not. I actually wasn't.
Wow.
I really wasn't.
So you were just naturally high on frustration.
Yeah, just high on frustration.
Nice.
And then, we finally learned that we were watching the wrong stream.
Right.
Yeah. So we missed all that stuff.
So you missed Lenny.
We missed Lenny. Yeah. Whatever.
Whatever.
But
it's over. You survived.
Yes. And went to bed at, I don't know, whatever, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
Yeah, we stayed up and we watched the ball drop. New Year's Eve is Jed's favorite holiday or favorite day.
Really?
He loves it. And he loves it because I keep asking him, and finally he says, because it's a chance to just in your mind reset.
Yeah.
It's just a reset. See, some people look at it just another day on the calendar.
Of course.
But I think Paul will agree with me. If you're going to try to be better for yourself, not for other people,
Right.
you can always choose New Year's Day as a day to reset.
Yeah.
You know, you should try to reset as much as possible.
Or the
anyway.
winter solstice.
Right. You should try to reset as much as possible, regroup, spend some time with yourself, all that.
Right.
But New Year's Eve to New Year's Day, that midnight hour, that's like Jed's way of resetting.
Sure.
So he enjoys that holiday more than anything else.
Yeah. I posted, and first of all, Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes.
Watching, listening to all of the Aired Out sponsors, to just everybody, no matter who you are, what you celebrate, where you live, a Happy New Year. And I hope that, as I posted, I hope 2025 is going to be a marvelous one for you. What's going on with you and Rex? You guys are going to see Shania Twain?
This morning,
What the hell's going on here?
This morning I saw him.
He wants to go with me.
Well, apparently you've been kicked to the curb. This morning I got a message on Facebook saying that Rex had used my name. So I was like, okay. So I went on and looked, and it said, I'll bet G would go to Shania Twain with me. So I messaged back, you buy the tickets and I'll go. Leave your wife home. I'll leave hubby home. We'll go out. We'll have a blast. We'll make a lot of noise. Could you imagine him and I together? Forget it. We need to do a show here together.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Because
I'll tell you
there's
right
going to
now.
be a lot of foul language people, either tune off or
Jesus.
batten down. But anyway, so I said that to him, well, you buy the tickets and I'll be there. And he gave me a thumbs up. So I guess you got kicked to the curb.
All right. My God, I mean, he's been relentless.
Yeah.
Constantly.
And the funny thing is, you said that he said to you, I've never met him. I need to meet him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Let's go see Shania Twain.
well, but not only that, let's be honest. Rex is getting old, and there's a good possibility that his
He could be slipping.
could be slipping because I met him
Yeah.
at one of the fights.
Yes.
And you introduced me to him, and he was like, "Hi, how you doing?" Walked away because he treated me like nothing,
Well, he's been punched a few times, so
Well, it shows by the look on his face.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
I think he's getting a little forgetful that he's met you, but that's fine.
That's fine. He had met me and I had met him, but he was running around like a lunatic that day trying to get everything ready for the fight. And you just threw me right there and said, "Rex, this is G." And he's like, "Hey, so."
Well, he's a lunatic on any day.
You
any
think?
given day. So you want to know about Lily's present?
Yeah, well, you did tell everybody.
Yep.
Oh, Lily brought this home, and she said, "Daddy, it's for you." The whole thing. Put it under the tree. She told you not to touch it while she was gone.
Yeah.
And Christmas came, Christmas went, New Year's came, New Year's went, and we kind of want to know what it is she got you.
I said leading up to, I think it was like the day before, I think it was maybe even Christmas Eve, I can't remember, that Lily got me at school. They have all of these gifts that they put out on these tables in the gym for the kids, and the kids get to go and pick what they would like to give to their parents, and they put it in a bag and staple it up, and you can't see anything. So Lily was more excited about this present under the tree than anything.
Right. But by her being that way, you had said that you were more excited about Christmas morning opening that than any other present under the tree.
And I was on Christmas morning, and I opened it up, and it was a metal yellow and black sign that says chickens crossing.
I fucking love that.
But to put up on the edge of the barn.
That's awesome. And you probably teared because you loved it.
I look at this, I look up at her, and the look on her face
She was like beaming, right? Yeah.
That's Christmas, my man. That's what it's
all about.
That's what it's all about right there.
It's about enjoying.
Yes, it is. I got a dilemma from someone, and they sent me something. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let G respond to this.
Are we going to start doing like a G's Corner?
I would like to do that.
During the G spot will be a G's Corner where if somebody has a dilemma, throw it out there and we'll address it on Thursday.
Yeah, and let's say this, okay? Let's preface by saying, if you ever send me a text message through Aired Out, through JD Green, through email, whatever, through phone, whatever, and you have a dilemma that you would like G's take on it.
Why did you say my name while chuckling?
Because I know what we're going to get when we get your answer to
Bring
things.
it. Well,
it's
people, you send it and we'll address it.
I will always keep your name completely anonymous.
Right.
I will never embarrass you by saying your name or revealing anything about you.
Right.
Even indirectly.
Right.
I will always keep that out.
Right.
And I will read it to you. And I got one, and I'm wondering what your take is here. It says, JD, through Christmas, our family we had a large gathering of family. Our family has been sharing bedrooms. And we have been sharing a bedroom with our siblings for the holidays. This has been particularly an odd experience and something that I never want to do again in the future. I'm uncomfortable in that I would like to suggest to my wife that next year they must get a hotel. How do I approach this? By putting my foot down.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, some people snore.
Yeah.
Some people, some people have sleep apnea. They use the
use the
CPAP machine,
or,
and,
but they could get Aspire, and then they wouldn't have a machine anymore.
True, but then you get, your relatives or whatever. They wake up in the morning before you, and they look over, and you got this huge freaking garden hose coming out of your nose, and, this big air machine and whatnot, and they're like, "Oh my God, what the hell's going on? Darth Vader? What?" I mean,
sleeping is a personal thing anyway.
That's right.
Okay, so when you're sleeping with your spouse or a child jumps into bed or whatever, that's more of a personal thing. But when you're doing it with other adults in a room, it could come across uncomfortable, especially some people get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
Some people snore, and some people like to go to bed without pajamas, and now they have to wear pajamas. So there's a few
When you say without pajamas,
right,
do you mean butt-ass naked?
They could be, or they could wear their underwear.
All right. Me, butt-ass.
Yeah, and that's why I never come to your house in the morning.
I know that.
Because the visual scares me. Now I can't unsee that.
But here's another thing is I not only butt ass, and I'll be transparent here and tell everyone, I don't care. For whatever reason, I don't know why, one of my legs likes to be completely out and exposed to the air.
Right.
One leg in, one leg out.
Right.
When you have one leg out, half of the bare ass is going to be exposed.
Is peeking.
Peeking.
Yeah.
So
but here's my suggestion to him. There's two ways to go on this.
My God.
Because he said his wife, so I'm assuming it's a gentleman.
Yes.
If it's not, I apologize.
I mean, Glenn says happy wife, happy life. Be careful.
Well, yes. However, Glenn, The one thing that you have to remember is if you're in a marriage and you trust your marriage, then honesty is the best way to go.
Right.
So I like to use diplomatic honesty.
Right.
Okay, like the president or the vice president or somebody when they have to be diplomatic but they can't lie because they'll get caught in it.
Yeah.
So I would probably sit her down and say that it was a fun time. We all had a great time. Let's do it again. However, I was a little uncomfortable sleeping in a room with
Aunt
others,
Janine.
with Aunt Janine, okay, and say and tell her we can and give her some options. Say, next time, I'll sleep out on the couch and you can spend time with your siblings. And have a sibling evening or whatever, or maybe we could have them get hotel rooms someplace local that we can spend all our time, and then I can drive them back to the hotel so if they
Sure.
want to have cocktails here, they'll be fine getting home.
Yeah.
Honesty is the best way to go.
Yeah. Valerie is saying air mattress,
Yes. Yes. And you can do that. I mean, Jed and I have a
But
king.
Uncle Billy can't sleep on an air mattress with his hip.
Him and his wife can sleep on the air mattress and let the siblings all sleep in the room. You're right, Val. There are a lot of options and ways you can turn it into kind of a camping thing where you can put sleeping bags on the floor and have them sleep in the living room. Whatever the case may be, I think the best way to handle is to be honest with her and say, I love seeing the family and we have a great time.
Yeah.
However, I'm a little uncomfortable.
Right.
And help me come up with solutions.
Because I know that half of my bare ass will be exposed in
right.
the morning.
And if worse comes to worse, then he can look at her and say, because I'm the fucking king of this house, I fucking pay the bills, get over it. I think that's another very
another way to do it.
Yeah.
That's another way.
Or even just throw her out.
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of options, but I would go with the politically correct one.
Here's my thing.
And have her help problem solve it.
Right. For me, and I know I'm probably TMI here this morning. I get, but when I'm sleeping, we could call it one of these mornings. I'll call Cheryl and put her on. I'm ripping. Almost constantly. I don't know why there's so much flatulence, but it's like and it's frequent.
That is a lot of TMI.
I'm just saying.
You're going.
I don't
you're
know
going
why.
beyond.
Maybe it's because I'm lying, horizontally. I don't know, but there have been.
Are
many
you
times,
aiming it away from her at least?
I don't even know it's happening. But here's the problem. I mean, Sherilyn will literally punch me in the middle of the night because I have.
Good.
I'm waking her up with a.
She should get a hammer. A frickin' sledgehammer.
But the last thing I would want to be doing is sharing a room
with Aunt Jeannie and Uncle Bob. Hey, Uncle Tony, was that you?
There was so much snoring and so much farting.
And this machine.
There's a naked man sleeping there.
With the hose coming out like
guy.
Darth fucking Vader. I used to use the CPAP machine because I have sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And there's times that Jed is just about to wake me up because he thinks I'm dead, and then I take that gasp of air.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it. The hose was, I would get it tangled around my neck and under an arm, and it was just ridiculous. So I stopped using it. So I'm going to go to my pulmonary doctor and speak to her about using the Aspire, which is
I've heard
just
about
under the skin transplant.
Yeah.
And they put it under there, and then there's a little device, and what it does when you turn it on in the middle of the night, if it starts to close up, the device sends a slight little
electrocution.
Yeah, but you don't feel. I mean, but it sends something that lets it know, open back up, so you don't have to have the mask there.
Interesting. Make sure you let me know how that's going, would you?
I will definitely put that on there.
But you had a good Christmas. You had a good New Year's Eve.
Yeah, my Christmas was awesome. Jed got me a piano.
What?
Yeah, I've played piano since I was 4 years old, 5 years old, and it's something that I've studied. I studied privately. I studied professionally. Went to college studying it, and I stopped playing over the course of a number of years now. And lately, I've been saying, "Gosh, I should grab one of those little electric pianos or this and that." And I've been looking at baby grands, things like that. And on Christmas morning or Christmas Eve, I got a piano.
How did he, like an electric keyboard?
A full 88. It's one of the really nice 88 weighted 3-pedal sustain. The whole thing
Real
with
deal.
the stand, a big sucker. And he wrapped it at the neighbor's house.
Oh, my God.
And then says to me, he said, "I'm going over to the neighbors to wrap your presents." And I love the fact that there was an S at the end because I like presents.
Yes.
And I love to give, but I'm not ashamed to take. And then he comes back and says, "I have to get the dolly to bring your present over.
Holy
And
shit.
I'm going to need you to help me bring it." And I was like, "What the?" And there he was. He disappeared with the dolly. And like 5 minutes later, he's coming with this big, huge freaking box. I mean, it was like 7-8 feet tall, completely wrapped on this dolly, walking in the snow because there was still snow on the ground, pulling this dolly, gets to the front door. I open it up. He says, "Here, grab that." So I grab it. I'm like, "Holy shit, what the hell's in here?" And we brought it in, and he left it in the office standing up for 2 days for me to walk by wondering what the fuck is in this box.
Oh, my God.
Meanwhile, I had like 7 or 8 presents for him, and they were all wrapped and in all different parts of the house. So I'm thinking, God, I hope I remember where I put all these freaking presents. And yeah, and Christmas Eve, we always celebrate. We unwrap our gifts on Christmas Eve.
Oh, you do?
We do. And it's been a tradition for Jed and I for a long time. And then he gives me 2 small gifts, both light as air. And I opened them up, and it was hysterical because we played D&D with the neighbors, and it was one of those 100 dice. There were 100 sides to this. I don't know what they call it anymore. He tells me all the time. Jed, if you're listening, type in what it's called. Anywho, he gave me that, and he gave me a Miami Dolphins hat, winter hat, because I'm a huge Dolphins fan. And then he opened all his presents, and then which one of his presents was a book that I wrote with a ghostwriter for him. And it's a book about swear words that he uses all the time, including the C word and other words. And it's written in the first person, him being the one that's teaching people how to use swear words and why they're helpful and all this stuff. Yeah, 140 pages.
You wrote this?
Yeah, I wrote it with a ghostwriter. And his picture's on the front cover, and it's I can't say what the title is because it incorporates C words and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Jet says the C word?
like it's water. Like it's you and me breathing air. I mean, F and C,
Really?
Jesus C. I mean, everything is followed with a C. I'm like, good God, can't you? But in the book, it explains how it helps him. It's hysterical.
He says it's called a die.
The die, that's what it's called.
100-sided die.
Right.
Does Jed know that the C word is very common in England?
Oh,
And that-
God, yes. Please, when I hang out with Sherilyn, it was hysterical. The first time we hung out, we met at a bar. Remember, you and I and Jed, we went to a bar, and she was there with us. And, oh, my God, she's like, "Don't be a fucking cunt. What's wrong with you?" And I looked at her, and she goes, "What?" I says, "What you just said." She says, "Fucking, you don't curse?" And I was like, "No, the other one." She goes, "Cunt." Says, "That's a normal word."
It is a normal word over
It's
there.
like and then I watched English shows, and they walk right up to somebody, "Hey, you fucking cunt. Well, how are you, you asshole?" And I'm like, Jesus,
Oh.
it's a compliment word there.
Almost.
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 So thank God I'm not using the C word because it's not appropriate on the air. But anyway, so and then he said, "You have to help me carry your gift out." So we brought it out to the living room. And what's really funny is it was at my neighbor's house for a while, apparently. And my neighbor, I go over there usually on Fridays or Thursdays to have coffee with her in the afternoon. It's like our time.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, yeah, Jed's, let me tell you, the president, he got big box." And I was like, "Big box?" I said, "What the fuck?" I'm not telling. And she didn't, the little bitch. And I told her that the next day. I said, "You are a bitch." But when we were talking about it, she said, big box. I was like, all right, there's this washer dryer, 1 unit stackable now that they make.
Right.
That dryer's on top, washer on the bottom, and it's all one piece. It's not, it's not just stackable. So I was like, well, I wanted that. So I said to her, "Is it my washer dryer?" And she's like, "Fuck no." So I was like, okay. And then I wanted the refrigerator that has the screen that you can put all your recipes in and you can talk to it and all this stuff. So I said, "Oh my God, it's that fridge I want that's like $4,000 that Jed is very frugal with money." So I would have been shocked that and she's like, "Yeah, no, the box isn't quite a fridge box." So I was like, "Oh." And then I looked and I says, "Is it my piano?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Oh." And then I said, "Besides, where the fuck would I put a piano in my house?" She goes, "Well," she says, "think about it, G." She says, "Where would you put some?" I said, "I have no idea." She said, "Well, good thing it's not that." So I was like, then what the fuck? So when I opened it on Christmas Eve and I pulled it down, I said, "It's a fucking piano." I says, "Damn her." I says, I knew it was. So when I spoke to her the next day, she says, "I was shocked because you literally guessed it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, quick, Tracy, put on that other face." She said, so I was putting on this face that did look weird. I said,
"Well, there shouldn't have been any questioning."
Yeah.
There shouldn't have been any,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm good at guessing.
She shouldn't have said yes or no or or maybe or anything.
Right.
She should have just said, "I'm not answering any questions."
Right. Well, it was funny. So anyway, now, and Tracy was like, asked me, "Well, where are you going to put it now that you know what it is?" It was already planned. Everything was up here. I said, if I get a piano, it'll either go in this spot or it's going to go in my room under the TV with because it's going to be black and my room is black and white, so with gold in it. So I was like, it's got to be. So the next morning, that night, Jed and I brought it into the bedroom. We moved a couple of things around. We set it up. We plugged it in. I played on it. So I knew where it was going to go. I know where everything goes in my house.
I want to just tell everyone right now, if there's anyone out there who can take the video portion of G and take the audio out and insert the audio in orchestra so that he's conducting.
Yeah, because I use my hands a lot. I did conduct.
Let me know.
I did conduct. I know how to conduct.
If you can do that, because it's beautiful. You're Italian. You've always you're Italian.
Remember when I had my nails all the time and I was flinging them around?
Oh my God. We're going to talk about some of the new laws in Vermont.
Can we just talk about one thing real quick?
Of course, yes.
What the fuck is this?
What's what?
This. It's dead. It's dying. You didn't take care of it. Look. What the fuck? And then you put it on the air next to people so that we feel like what? This is the holidays? Look, it's a dead holiday. Horrible. Hold on. Everybody, no. Now we'll put this beautiful cactus here and see how long that lives.
Already dead.
I see that. Can I take this home? Was that a gift from somebody?
Can you bring it back to life for me?
If I'm going to bring it back, I have the huge green thumb. You give me a plant. I mean, my neighbor Tracy gave me all her cactus because she kills cactus. So she said, "Please take these out of here." So I took them out and I bought a stand for them that mounts to the wall. Oh. And now I've got these cactuses all over the place. And then I got grow lights for everything. So, yeah. But this is look, come on.
Sorry.
I'm taking this home.
It's
Was this a
either-
gift?
It's either two. No, I got it for the window, but
Well, it doesn't work. I'm taking it home with me.
you're gonna fix it for me.
Once it's done and it looks great, I will take a picture and show you. But I'm not bringing it back. I'm not doing all that work. It's slave labor, this is. Jesus. But I'll send a picture. I'll post it on Facebook when it's fully bloomed.
All right.
Everybody pay attention
Well-
because I will post it.
Can we please get a before and after picture, though?
Yeah, everybody, here's before.
All right.
I will take a before in its new home.
Hey, the national average for regular gas is supposed to go down in 2025. That's what they're saying. It's supposed to be the lowest annual average since 2021. So there's some good news.
There is some, and it's funny because Christine Hellquist posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
It started by saying President Elon Musk,
Yeah.
made these predictions over the last number of years.
Yeah.
And every prediction he made was wrong. But it was absolutely hysterical. So, you say predictions and all, yeah.
I don't
Yeah, national average.
I don't believe in any of that shit.
don't
I
believe
think
either.
that everything is dependent on who is making the decisions.
Right.
And I don't think that has anything to do with what's going on in the Middle East either. So
No, but it's funny because people complained a year, 2 years ago, the grocery prices and things, and I hear that because I was complaining about things because I used to get my pasta 2 for $1. Okay, the spaghetti, the rigatoni, all that stuff 2 for $1, 2
Love
boxes,
rigatoni.
and now it says sale.
yeah.
2 for $5 or 2 for $3. And I'm like, that's not a sale. But you know what? I'm getting used to now buying pasta at $1.25, $1.50 a box.
Right.
Instead of 89 or 79 cents.
Sure.
So everybody complained for so long, but now people are getting used to it and we're adjusting. We're resilient and we can adjust accordingly. A little less of this, a little more of that, whatever.
Yeah.
So, we blame the president and we blame the vice president and this and that, and it was their fault.
Yeah.
But we've adjusted, and now if it goes up or if it comes down,
Right.
it doesn't matter.
Speaking of pasta, you just made your famous Papa G's sauce.
Yes, my Papa G's sausage sauce.
And then you teased me by just sending me a picture of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll bring you a jar. I'm jarring it today.
All right.
What I do when I make my sauce is, first of all, I take all the Italian tomatoes and I crush them by hand. Okay, that's like a 45-minute to an hour job just doing that. And then it starts with I take the onions and all that stuff and I put it in my processor and then I saute that with seasonings, add the sausage raw and cook it up and break it all up. Then goes the sauce and the more seasoning. So it's like a 9-hour process from start to finish. A true Italian sauce. Now, obviously, I buy cans of sauce when I want to just make a lickety split.
Yeah.
But this is one where I can get 20, 30 jars of my sauce. And I think when I was in Milton, I was selling
Yes, you were.
the Papa G's sauce
Papa
and the
G's.
Papa G's infused oils. But so I decided, you know what? I haven't made one of my sauces in a while.
Yeah.
So yesterday was that. And then it sits overnight in the pot. So in the morning, it's still warm. Then I heat it up slowly, and then I start jarring it and putting the jars in the hot water and stuff.
Oh, so
and I
you
will then
can it.
bring you.
Wow.
I will then bring you.
We, I'll just be honest here. As you've seen, because I've posted a lot of the news, there is a shit ton of pretty heavy news.
Yeah,
Within-
New Year starts off a bang with
Unbelievable.
frickin' New Orleans, and I mean
Unreal, man. What do we got? 15?
15 dead
30
and 30 are
injured.
in the hospital.
And apparently, so this guy who was honoring ISIS drove through a barricade and into
With a pickup
a
truck.
crowd.
So that does damage.
My God.
Yeah.
And this barricade apparently was being refurbished in anticipation of the Sugar Bowl,
The game
which
today,
is going to take place today instead at 4:00.
instead of last night, because
Instead
they
of-
really
right.
needed to hype everything up. They had to get the security and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's, and this a similar thing just happened at this Christmas market in Germany. Or I think the fatalities there was much higher than 15. But it's like, what do we need to do to?
Well, you
make
heard about the explosion in front of
Yes.
Trump Tower.
the Cybertruck?
Yes.
which had firework motors,
Yep.
gas canisters.
Well, first, let's say that it's Elon Musk's
Wow.
truck, the
Yes.
electric truck, which is, by the way, the ugliest fucking truck on this planet.
my
Somebody
God.
owns one in town here.
I've seen it.
And I see it go by, and I'm like,
I
I
know.
wonder if they know that they are in probably one of the ugliest trucks
right.
on this planet. right now.
MSRP is like over $100,000.
Yeah.
I've been inside one.
Yeah.
It's. Let me say this. It's impressive to see the inside of it because there's just one huge computer monitor across the
Right.
whole
And that's
front.
wonderful, but it's ugly as
But
sin.
it's so ugly.
But now they're saying that the truck that was rented in New Orleans is the same rental company that the electric truck was
Yeah.
over in New York.
Right.
So
Right.
now they're saying there may be a tie, or it could be a coincidence.
Well, they don't think that the New Orleans one, that guy that Army veteran acted alone.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're thinking that maybe what happened in that Tesla
It was connected somehow.
is connected somehow to
Unbelievable.
that. So
What do we have? We have, I think, one confirmed dead from the Cybertruck.
yeah, I haven't gotten the details on that one. But it's just a shame that we have to kick off on day one. My God, people, wait till
know.
day two, But instead,
Jesus.
day one, we wake up to that.
And you think about, every year there's this long list of all of the things that happened, good and bad,
Right.
during the year, who died and whatnot. And it's like, we're an hour into 2025,
Yeah.
and now we can put these two things
Yep.
on the list.
Well, I
Unreal,
personally don't. I don't personally agree with the recap of bad things
Yeah.
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It would be nice, especially because we wake up on New Year's Day to crap like this.
Sure.
I mean, I got up, I got my yogurt, I sat in front of the TV, hit the news, and special report.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? That was how I needed to wake up
God, I know.
on January 1st?
I know, man.
So let's at least go out with recapping all the positive and all the wonderful things and all the amazing people that passed away that needed to be recognized one more time. Things like that.
Yes.
Let's not talk about, and it was this flood here, and 94 people died here, and a plane went down here. I don't want to hear that shit going
know,
out.
man.
Because
I
we
know.
know 2024 wasn't great. 2023 was even worse.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that we're trending upward.
Right.
Okay. New president coming in.
Yeah.
Maybe we're trending downwards again.
During the inauguration, the flag will be at half-mast
Yep.
for Jimmy Carter's
Yes.
funeral,
Yes.
which is a 3-day event?
Yeah.
January.
Listen, I have
4,
a lot
5.
I have a lot of respect for Jimmy Carter.
Oh, boy.
A lot. He's just, I mean, my God, 100 years old.
I know.
And somebody made the comment that, oh my God, I can't believe he's dead. He's 100 years old. Let him go. Am I upsetting somebody with the Jimmy Carter statement?
No, well, no. I just, for me, and no disrespect to Jimmy Carter, but man, it was oversaturation, in my opinion. It was all over every single. I mean, I couldn't make a phone call on my phone without news of Jimmy Carter coming up, and it's like, it's like, what about the 200 people that died in this plane crash in South Korea?
I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But he was one of our presidents,
I
so
know.
it makes news. But it shouldn't trump other news.
Right.
Okay,
Well-
that's one of the problems with news these days is they sensationalize things and then they take it too far.
Yeah.
They make too much to the point that look at the elections, look at the months before the election. People got tired of the same
Sure.
shit.
Becky's saying it right. She says the news causes so much anxiety. I limit my exposure. That is so
Important.
important.
My neighbors don't watch the news at all,
See, I know several that don't.
and it's because it takes you down a notch.
Yeah.
Even if it's just news.
Right.
Anybody, any human being out there that has any form of compassion at all,
Yeah.
okay, or sympathy or empathy for people that are suffering,
Right.
all right, you watch the news and no matter how much you say, you know what, that's thank God for me, you still feel that anxiety.
Yes.
And then the things that come out of your mouth, like, again, or what the fuck? People, come on.
Yeah.
That's what comes out instead of watching the news and saying, "Oh, look, it's a winter wonderland in
Sure.
Vermont."
Sure.
It's, "Oh, and be careful of the roads; they're slippery, and people are this, and one person got stuck." Why does it always have to be?
Because we as humans, I think, and I'm generalizing here. I know that, but we tend to gravitate toward the drama, the bad.
Yes.
And the media does that too.
Mm-hmm.
And the media knows that that's what attracts people.
Well,
Drama.
that's how Donald Trump became president, because he attracted the people with what they wanted to hear. Okay, and that's the same with the news. The only way we're going to get ratings is if we give the people what they want to hear, and what they want to hear is gory, gooey stuff, and we'll cover it by saying we want to warn you this could be offensive to some viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, if it could be offensive to some viewers, then why are you even showing it at all?
Sure. Right.
If you're reporting the story, why do we then have to see the pictures of it?
Yeah.
So they sensationalize it.
Doom and gloom, man.
Yep.
It sells. It
does
true.
sell. It does sell.
The other big thing, Puerto Rico. They don't know why the whole island lost power.
Yeah.
They think it may have been an underground cable, but last I know, they still haven't figured out exactly why. But I mean, this is $90 billion in damage from Hurricane Maria.
Yeah.
That island has really
It's seen its share.
says here estimates to modernize the power grid in Puerto Rico have been in the range of $20 billion.
Wow. Yeah.
Unreal, man. So do you know if their power is back on?
I don't know. I didn't get that news flash.
I mean, you think about that. Refrigeration, insulin, I mean,
Oh, I know.
durable
Here-
medical equipment.
Here
I mean,
we're lucky because it
Jesus.
gets cold enough that in the winter that we can put things out if we lose
right.
power.
Yeah, exactly.
but
At least
yeah.
to keep something cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we have? Did you watch any football
No.
over Christmas?
No.
No? You going to watch the Sugar Bowl today, Notre Dame and Georgia?
No.
4 o'clock, New Orleans? No?
No.
What else is happening? There's so much stuff about the price of everything and how expensive everything is, and how more and more people are going with fast food than they are restaurants. And
Well, that's not a
holy
good
shit.
thing.
Jesus.
And
no.
fast food is promoted like it's a healthy meal,
Yeah.
which is sad. The other day I saw, because I have the Walmart app, and I have them deliver my groceries, and if I need something, they deliver it. And on my app came up that I got a certain percentage off when I shop at Burger King. And I'm like, why would I? First of all, who shops at Burger King? It's not a retail store, it's a food chain. But it's just so easily promoted,
Yep.
and then I have to go into my phone and I have to try to find my preferences to get that out because it pops up every time I go on my app.
Yep.
So fast food is, unfortunately, people can't afford certain food. But if they stop and do the math
Yep.
on how much they spend
Yes.
for the family on fast food an evening,
Right.
and then they do the math on what it would cost to buy and make
Buy
that
something.
food,
Yeah.
they'd find out, number one, it's more expensive to eat fast food all the time.
Yeah.
And number two, that food you bought, you can break down into 2 or 3 meals.
Sure. Right. Of course you
So if you've spent
Yes.
$10 on that food and all the stuff that goes with it, that $10 could feed either 3 meals
Yeah.
or a meal and lunch the next day.
Of course.
So people don't complain about the cost of food if you're going out and spending it at restaurants and,
Yeah.
and fast food places.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Because one of mine, and I don't really have any New Year's resolutions. It really has nothing to do with the new year. It just has to do with whatever.
Right.
I'm really wanting to start eating more omega-3s, salmon. I want to snack more on unsalted nuts
Right.
and vegetables and bananas, avocados, stuff like that.
Right. Healthy food.
Healthy food. I've been talking a lot lately about ultra-processed foods and how bad they are for you in so many different ways. So many different ways.
Oh, yeah.
Inflammation is just one of many reasons why processed foods are bad for you.
Right. And
But,
there's
man,
a lot of natural foods out there that fights
Yeah,
inflammation.
right.
So, I mean.
And I've been Googling that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that shit.
Yeah.
No, my New Year's resolution is kind of simple, and that is I'm leaving all the pain and all the crap that's happened to me behind me, using it as a lesson, and trying to be happier and more direct and honest today. I'm not worrying about tomorrow, because people say, in the new year, I wanted this, and then they go out and get hit by a car and they're dead. Right. So you got to kind of live today as today. So instead of looking at, well, for the next 12 months, I'm going to try to be, my New Year's resolution is basically for me to be the best of me today. And then when I go to bed tonight, if I die, at least I can say I was the best of me today.
Boy, what a way to...
And anybody who doesn't like it
can kiss your ass.
can kiss my ass. Yeah.
I was going to say, is it possible for you to be more direct and honest? I don't think it is.
Well, I try sometimes to be politically correct. Maybe that's the one I'm working on, being more politically correct and not insultingly correct. You know what I'm saying?
But I love it when you're insulting.
Well, yes, and I love being that way, but there are
it when-
times that you have to your lessons in the past teach you that I may have lost this friend, or I may have not had what I needed because I got my own way.
Oh.
So instead, let me be a little bit more politically correct, but you're still going to know where you stand with me.
I love the fact that when I see you, that you will look at me and say, Jesus, you look like shit.
And I do say that.
You do.
There are days I've seen you that I'm like,
What's
what the
going on?
fuck what's happening to this in
put
front
on
of me?
You've put on a few pounds. You look like shit.
It's more usually your
How much
hair.
sleep are you getting?
It's
What's
usually
going on with
your
hair?
When you first dishevel yourself before
Yeah.
you try to make yourself look pretty, and I use the word try.
Yep. Thank you.
I look at you and I'm like, do you realize that we can't unsee what you're presenting to us?
Can you imagine sleeping in the same room with me?
Not with a leg that hangs out with half an ass that farts. No. But I mean, let's call a spade here, you know?
Love that.
I mean, but there are times that I look at you and I'm like, I can't unsee that. And then somebody says, "Oh, you saw JD today?" I'm like, God, stop reminding me of that.
We had a shaky start in northern New York communities with an earthquake about an hour into the new year.
Oh.
2.9 miles under the surface. You didn't even know about this.
No.
Yeah, over near Malone, New York. Magnitude 2.4. No damage reported, but plenty of people felt it. New laws in Vermont in 2025.
Yes.
We got the minimum wage increase. Yeah.
Well, did you see the report on the minimum wage? If you worked minimum wage full time, what you would make, and then the cost of living.
Right.
It's a cost of living is I think $51,000.
Yeah. It's still below poverty rate.
Yeah, but the cost of living in Vermont is like $51,000 for a family. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're working minimum wage, you're taking home $29,000. So I'm feeling a little. Yeah, I'm feeling like we need to either lower the cost of living here, or let's jack up some of those. Something's going by.
There's no quick fix.
There isn't a quick fix
to this,
but it's disappointing because everybody wants to come to Vermont, but it's expensive per capita. We're like one of the most expensive.
Number 3.
Okay.
Well, last I heard, we were number 3.
Yeah.
In the country.
Yeah. For taxes.
Right.
Which I get it, but I'm just saying if the cost of living is going to go to this point, let's help the people who are busting their ass 40, 50 hours a week just to get by.
And listen, the companies need to up their prices if they're going to be paying. if they're paying minimum wage, they've got to pay more for their employees. Then their product is going to have to go up a little bit more too.
And that's the problem.
It's all relative.
We
man.
want to get paid more, but we don't want you to up the price. Something's got to give.
$14 is what Vermont is going up to. $14 per hour. In New York, it's going up to $15.50.
Yeah.
In the upstate communities. Open meeting laws. All state-level decision-making bodies in Vermont will be required to hold their meetings both in a physical location as well as to host a virtual option beginning on the 1st of the year. So I think most of us were doing that anyways. Yeah. Electric vehicle fees. If you own an electric vehicle in Vermont, boy, is this a hot button. Holy shit. You can expect your registration fees to increase. All electric vehicles will be subjected to an $89 registration fee in 2025 to help the state pay for charging ports.
Yes, so we're encouraging people to get electric cars so that they can pay more, which, first of all, electric cars aren't cheap.
Right.
Then you got to have your station set up at your home, okay? And then on top of that, you got to pay more for registration so that you can go out and charge your car.
Well, your electric rates are going up, too, at home. So, that's when you're charging your car at home.
So it's a win-win. Just put yourself in more debt.
And now they're saying Vermont is saying that they're hoping to have 35% of all vehicles on the road, electric vehicles, within a year?
No, that won't happen.
By 2026?
No, when you
How's that going to happen?
What's going to happen, first of all, they need to realize that the intelligent people in this earth, okay, and I put Jed on this because I've asked him, do you want an electric car? And he's like, I have no problem owning an electric car when they get it figured out. Because right now, you're going on a road trip, you don't know where to fucking charge your car.
Exactly.
Okay, you have no idea where to charge the car
I'm sorry, kids. We're stuck here along the highway.
until
Do you have any
somebody
leftover
comes with
McDonald's?
So, it would behoove you, unless you're just driving it around town where you can go to a local charging place, it behooves you to wait
Sure.
until they get the charging organized, they get the batteries to be sustainable longer.
Right.
And then when you buy it, then it becomes something productive.
Yeah.
But right now, to put a charging station at home, and then Jed takes the car, he charges it overnight, takes the car to Burlington to work, and then I say, oh, while you're there, before you leave, can you stop at Costco, and then can you run over to the such and such, and then bring that stuff up? And he's like, I can, but you're going to have to come pick me up because the car will be dead by the time I get to Costco.
Oh, my God.
Now Costco has charging stations, but you know what I'm saying. There has to be a little bit more thought put into it before we just tell everybody to go buy one.
Just got a comment. I'd be okay with a hybrid, but not 100% electric.
Yes.
At this point, anyway.
And that's absolutely correct, because that's what I had said to Jed. I says I would consider an electric car that's a hybrid.
Yeah.
So when I'm going somewhere and I see my charging is down to red, I
Right.
can hit the button and keep going.
Right. Starting January 1st, insulin cost sharing has been banned for state-regulated insurance providers. The change will apply when a health insurance policy or contract is issued, renewed, modified, altered, or amended on or after that date. The law applies to individual, small group, and large group health insurance policies and contracts. Cost sharing for prescription insulin under Child Health Plus, Medicaid managed care plans, or the Essential Plan is subject to other rules. New York has also established a cap on out-of-pocket costs for EpiPens. The law requires health insurance to cover 2 packs of EpiPens. It also caps out-of-pocket costs at $100 a year.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and the EpiPen, that's a serious
shit, man.
serious medicine. I have an EpiPen because I'm allergic to bee stings and I'm allergic to penicillin. So I have, actually, when my doctor ordered it, I got 2. And a friend of mine, the situation with that person was they have somebody in the house that has an allergy. And
Yep.
that person can't afford an EpiPen, so I gave that person one of mine. I says, here. And they were like, are you sure these are not cheap? I says, my insurance covers it, so here.
Yep.
But it's a shame that people that need medicine and are now being regulated what they can and can't have.
Unreal.
It's like, come on, people.
Unbelievable.
And then you talk about, the lifespan of, come on. First of all, health care should be affordable to any human being,
Sure.
period.
Yeah,
but that's a whole new
nother
topic.
Yeah.
That'll be we've had a drink and then we can talk about.
Carbon emissions in Vermont.
Uh-huh.
The start of 2025 also marked the first deadline established under Vermont's Global Warming Solutions Act. The legislation set specific emissions benchmarks for the state to meet by 2025, 2030, and 2050. The first deadline, starting in 2025, requires Vermont to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 26% from where they were in 2005. Thus, the 35% of us must be driving electric cars,
Well,
which is going to affect the automobile industry. You watch.
I'm the other 65%.
I am too. The Conservation Law Foundation has already threatened the state with a lawsuit claiming Vermont is not on track to meet those goals.
So here we are, reading all the negative shit.
Jesus.
Here we are, doing exactly what we complained, that the news gives all negative shit.
Yeah.
And you have spent the last 10
I know.
minutes giving us negative shit.
I know, but it's all over. Those are the new laws in Vermont.
I understand.
Unbelievable.
And they think that these things are helping.
Yeah.
And Perhaps they are, and we're just not seeing the bigger picture. But I consider myself a relatively intelligent person, and I'm not seeing the upside of a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But they'll say, but it's a step. It's a step.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Look at this. Look at this. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this.
Uh-oh.
Tiny packets of nicotine have quickly become a big problem for parents and schools. They're available at gas stations and convenience stores, and they're getting kids hooked on nicotine quickly.
So let's get them to quit smoking, and then we're going to give them little nicotine instead? What happened to the patch? If first of all, you should quit. All right, because it's not good for you. But what happened to using the patch or medication? I think there's Wellbutrin out there for people that want to quit smoking. And now we're giving young kids nicotine, which if they're putting it in their mouth is giving them mouth cancer.
Right.
Okay, but if they smoke it, it gives them lung cancer.
Sure.
So
yeah, I know.
Why are we not banning these things?
Yeah.
Why are we not stopping these
Right.
things?
Well, they just banned e-cigarettes. Where? In Europe. Damn it.
That's why so many people are leaving.
It's in the news right now.
That's why so many people are leaving and going to Europe and going to other places, okay, or considering it because they're not happy, okay? And I get it that change needs to happen. I get it that it's all baby steps, but people are not happy.
Yeah.
People are not healthy.
Shit.
I know.
I can't. It's just I can't keep up with it.
Are you done with all the bad news?
Oh, one more.
Oh,
One more story. Concerns at colleges. Fear and uncertainty are spreading at U.S. universities ahead of President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration, with some schools urging international students to return early from winter break amid promises of another travel ban. So here we go.
here we go.
Is that fear-mongering?
On whose part?
The media's.
Well, listen, we can't even talk about here we go because we haven't even seen it yet.
I know.
The tidal wave has not come. For those people who say, oh, it's about time and we're going to have change, you are. I do not want to hear one single person complaining. If they voted for Donald Trump, you don't get to complain about this world. Okay? You don't get to. Because you just set us up for here we go.
But you could say the same thing for anyone who had voted for Kamala if she was voted in, too. Don't complain.
Well, yeah, don't complain. But Kamala at least had some kindness in her approaches. This man isn't even kind. Although, let me pull that back, because he has displayed recently, which kind of caught my attention, a more thoughtful ideas. There's
Sure.
more thoughtfulness in it and not a blatant, fuck you, I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah,
There's been a mellowing of his rhetoric
sure.
as far as him personally. So, he's going to be the deal for the next 4 years.
Okay.
So let's embrace it, let's work with it, and let's see what we can do to make things better.
Okay.
And if not for the world, I always like to say I like to work in my little world.
Yeah.
And my little world consists of my husband, my family, and close friends.
Yeah.
I can only help those people and be there for those people and make my little world better,
Right.
which starts with me being better today.
Sure.
That's how it all ties in.
I love that positivity.
Yeah. Well, you have to stay positive.
Yeah.
There's so much doom and gloom out there.
Sure.
There's so many people that just came through a holiday depressed,
Right.
not having all that stuff. You gotta tell them that there's a hump.
Yeah.
You just got to get to it.
Just make some plans for 2025.
Yeah.
Make them.
Yeah. Set goals.
I would like to go visit here. I'd like to do this. Whatever it is. I'd like to get out of the house more.
Right.
I'd like to be more social.
Right.
I'd like to, maybe you want to find a positive TV show to binge watch this winter.
Yes.
I don't know. One of my goals for 2025
Lose weight.
is, of course.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
That was my goal for 2024, and I did
But
it.
here's the thing, though. I'm not looking at it as a 2025 thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it more as a Lily thing.
And as a life change.
Yeah. But one of the things that I really want to do in 2025 is live stream from your house, sipping cappuccino while you're playing the piano.
Wow. We'd have to do that in my bedroom then.
Is that where the piano is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's what Becky wants. That's what I want.
Becky wants to hear me play.
I would, the other thing I want to do is you and Jed are really into the Hot Ones spice sauces.
Yes, we talked about this.
You've got the whole collection.
Yeah.
That are like ridiculously like crazy ass
Yes.
spicy. I'd like to come over and do the Hot Ones challenge with you and Jed, who apparently can consume some of this stuff and not even water an eye.
No. If anybody ever watched the Hot One series with Demi Moore, she basically went through all 10 of the wings and was like, all right, it's got a kick, yeah, so what? And that's the way Jed is. I've only seen him once eat something that he could only have 2 pieces of, and then he ate the rest the next day because his eyes
crazy.
were. Yeah, but he loves doing the Hot Wings challenge. Every time there's a new one, we got to watch it on TV. And we did it a couple of years ago with 3 of our friends and my brother and Jed.
Right.
And I set up all the dishes out with everybody got a wing, with the different heat levels.
Yeah.
And I was the one who was basically emceeing it. And I'd say, okay, now let's pick up the first one. The first one is blah, blah, blah. And this has a Scoville scale of blah, blah, blah.
Millions, in the millions.
Well, as you get up there, yes. And we got to a point where one of our friends had to stand up and was folding his arms and walking back and forth in the room like he was trying to walk off the heat or something. And but everybody got through it, and they were like, God, that was fucking hot. And Judd's like, yeah, no, it had a nice kick to it. And so when we do it, it'll be you, Jed, probably my brother, and probably my neighbor.
Okay.
And I'll set it all up. You'll have 10 wings in front of you, 10 in front of Jed, and each one will have a different Scoville.
Did anybody puke?
No.
Okay.
No. But I did not want to be in the bathroom the next day. We have 3 bathrooms, thank God. And Jed was designated 1, him and my brother, and nobody went into my bathroom.
Speaking of bathrooms, and we'll close out with this morning.
Oh, God.
There's a serious problem at my house.
Yes.
A very serious problem.
People, here comes another TMI.
We're going out with this.
We're going out with this.
Lily is 10 years old.
Yes.
All of a sudden, she has really come into, like, her own
person.
Femininity.
Yeah, her own person. She's becoming a young lady.
She's interested in the hair products. Mm-hmm. She's interested in what Sherilyn's got, the creams, the moisturizers, the makeup. Santa Claus brought her a ton of makeup.
Oh,
which
I saw you.
Pissed about that.
That was hysterical when you sent me a picture and you said, do I need anything else? And your face was all different makeup. And all I could say is, yes, you need some foundation. Because you were so white with red blotches.
Well, Lily is learning how to do makeup. She's putting it on me.
You're the mannequin.
I'm the mannequin.
I had
the eyeliner. I had the brows plucked.
Yep. You had your hair pulled back.
Hair was pulled back. I had lipstick, eyeliner,
blush,
eyeshadow. Yep. And I'm learning what the difference between eyeliner and eyeshadow and all this foundation horse shit and all that. So she's doing this. So she's got all these, the skin products that Santa should have consulted with me first before he brought all this shit into the house.
Well,
And if I
Santa
catch that
doesn't
fat
care
fuck,
what you
I'm going to
think.
break his legs.
All right, well.
So Lily is, she's now like, for example, the other night, it's raining outside. It's pouring rain outside.
Right.
We have one bathroom in our house.
Mm-hmm.
Lily's in the bathroom. Took a shower. Now the showers are becoming longer.
Mm-hmm.
You have a little tiny body.
Yep.
Why do you have to be? Does it take an hour to clean this little tiny body?
Apparently it does.
So then she's out of the shower now, and
You're like, cool.
we got the hair pulled up in the big fucking turban on the top of her head.
That only women are good at doing.
Yes, she's got that going on. She's got the music playing in there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
On her new little speaker that she got for Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
Bluetoothed in. So she's got her music playing, which is absolutely horrible music.
What does she listen to?
Justin Bieber.
Oi. Oi.
Now we're doing this, we're doing that. She's got the Bubble, this new brand of like cleaner for kids, whatever it's called, Bubble. You ever heard of it?
No.
All right. It's like the hottest shit on the market now.
Okay.
So we got to put that on, and then we need to look in the mirror for 10 minutes, and then take it off and put it on again, and this and that and this and. I have an aging prostate. I'm 54 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When I gotta go,
You gotta go.
I gotta go now.
And you certainly put that in capitals when you were texting me that.
I did.
I gotta go now.
and let's just be honest here, okay? I know TMI, but everybody knows. I'm just saying it like it is. It's not just number one. Okay, when you get older, your body can get sensitive to things. I'm starting to eat more healthy now. I had some prunes the other day. I had some dates.
Clean out.
I had some dried dates.
Yep. Natural colonoscopy.
Again, when I have to go, one or two, I got to go right now. One bathroom in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out in the yard. I'm spending more time out in the yard, in my driveway, in the pouring rain. Peeing in my driveway.
Well, that's what you text me and you said, if you happen to be driving by and you see me squatting down on my driveway, you know what I'm doing and where Lily is.
Lily's in the bathroom, and I'm pooping in the driveway.
And I text T-fucking-M-I.
What am I going to do? Build another...
Put an outhouse. You have plenty of land there. Stick an outhouse on the side of your property. What does that take? Dig a fucking hole, put a thing in there. Jed'll come build it for you.
5-gallon bucket.
And then pour it down in the stream to empty it out.
Oh, yeah,
so that people get it downwind.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a
So
great idea.
squat outside in a bucket in an outhouse where it's not raining on you, and then dump it over into the stream so that people down the road get that lovely JD effervescence. You like
that would
it?
be a nice looking outhouse, wouldn't it?
The hell with the neighbors. That would be a nice outhouse.
You think would Jet come over and help me make one?
Oh my God, Jet
Nice
helps
little-
everybody make stuff.
Nice little crescent moon.
Yeah, with a wilting flower in the moon.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, he does cutting boards. He builds furniture. Why can't he frickin' build you an
that's
outhouse?
fantastic. And as Glenn says, and Fish and Game would really love to hear that.
Yes, because now we're incorporating other organizations. We're giving them work to do to earn their money. Yeah, so that would be kind of fun.
Get the hell out of here, will you please?
I'm just saying.